Hey there! So in this video I just wanted to clarify a few points that I made in a previous video called the Beating Anxiety Restaurants. On that video I got a couple of comments just with questions for me to clarify, which, I've always said I'm open to, so if there are any questions you feel that you've got for any of my videos, just leave a comment in the comment section of that video and I'll try and get round to it as soon as possible. The first thing though, there's been a bit of a milestone in my YouTube page. I've just noticed that my subscriber number has gone past the 1,000 mark. I'm really happy about that. I know that 1,000 is just a drop in the ocean of YouTube, but when you consider my audience is quite a small audience, 1,000 is a lot of people for me to be talking to. So thank you very much for your support, and if you continue to give me questions, this channel will continue. I do enjoy talking about these things and just trying to help other people. So yeah, if you've got any questions, just keep them coming and I'll get them done as soon as possible. The other thing in relation to the video I'm going to be doing with Declan, I've got about 5 or 6 questions so far posted on the comment section of that video, which I'll link up to here. Keep the questions coming. I will be doing the video with him as soon as I feel that there are enough questions for us to be getting on with, and I should be doing about 2 videos with him at this time. But if you feel there are any other things that you want us to talk about, please feel free to let us know. These ideas can continue, and the future could be that he could do some videos on this channel as well. So now to the main topic of this video, me answering the couple of questions that I found on my comment section of the video. The first one was, what was it? It was, what if it has gotten to the point where you don't know what you really like? I have the same thing over and over again, each and every day. I know that it's not healthy, but I do it anyways. How do I break this unhealthy cycle? Well, it can be really difficult, and I completely understand where you're coming from. When I was trying to recover last year, I'd just come out of the inpatient unit. I hit a bit of a rough spot, and I found that I was eating the same thing. And this was because I felt safe doing it like that. And as soon as you pick something that you know is safe, you've got to question the reason why you think it's safe, first of all. And that's because you're trying to give in to the anxiety of the eating disorder. You only deem it safe because it might have a low fat content, it might not have much oil in it. And as soon as you pick that meal, you've already given in to the anxiety. It is then when you feel less anxious that you continue eating this meal each and every day, and you then start this unhealthy cycle. So the question is, how do you break it? Because you need to, if you want to establish a healthy relationship with food. And I mean, it took a couple of weeks for me to sort of get over it, but the first thing that I found that was incredibly useful was letting someone close to me, who sees me every day, know what I was doing. And in that case, it was one of my best friends, and I said to them, look, I'm really struggling at the moment, and it may look as though I'm eating food, but you may have noticed that I'm having the same thing. And to them, they had no idea, and they were just happy to see me eating. So it doesn't quite register with people who don't have an eating disorder that the way you're eating, unless it's overtly obvious, the way you're eating is abnormal, because as I said, they're just happy to see that you're eating. And if you think about it, their life is completely separate from yours. They've got so many other things going on, and them seeing you in the dining hall, for example, is only a minute proportion of their day. So it won't register with them that the thing that you're eating is the same thing each and every day. So if you're expecting other people to notice what you're doing, don't. Even if they do notice, they might be too scared to actually confront you about it, because you might become aggressive towards them. They don't know what's going through your mind unless you tell them. The next thing that I decided to do was to just open my options and think about other things that I knew that I like. And that sort of ties into the next part of the question, what if it's gotten to the point where you don't know what you like? Now, it's not that you don't know what you like. You know what you like. It's just that you are far too anxious to sort of accept that you like those things. Let's just say that you love pizza. I love pizza. It's my favourite food. But when I was, recovering, I was only eating things like pasta, in tomato sauces, chicken. Something with cheese would never register with me. And when I was thinking, what do I like? The first thing that cropped up to my mind was pizza, and I felt guilty thinking about it, and that is a really big stumbling block to try and get over, because that guilt is only temporary. If you can somehow confront yourself and challenge the anxiety by saying, look, I know that even thinking about having pizza makes me anxious, you've got to, accept that that's abnormal, really, and that if you want to establish a healthy relationship with food, you have to get over these things. And so what I did was I think I might have talked about this in a previous video, where I just one day came back home from a good day actually, and I decided to phone up Domino's Pizza and just order the pizza, because I knew that going from that high of being happy could carry over to me challenging that anxiety. And so, I guess one of the things that you could do to actually have that meal is to try and be happy. I know that it's not a simple task, but if you can do things that you know will make you happy, everyone has hobbies, everyone has things that they enjoy doing. If you can focus on doing something like that, you will be in a much better place to move forward and do something about it. I know that you can start feeling sorry for yourself, and that you just don't want to do anything, but you won't get anywhere if you don't stop feeling sorry for yourself and just sort of seize what you want to be doing, which is getting better. So the second question that I got, let me just find it, and that's it. When someone with an ED eats out, not knowing the amount of calories they're consuming, can this be dangerous and cause the refeeding syndrome? Now, I'm guessing that this ties into my first ever education video, which was about refeeding syndrome. I'll link to it there. I think, in short, unless there's a massive exception, eating out shouldn't cause the refeeding syndrome unless you haven't eaten in days. I don't want to be too confident in saying that, but unless you really have been starving yourself for days and then decide to go and eat out, you aren't really at risk of developing the refeeding syndrome. The refeeding syndrome, as I said, is all to do with prolonged bouts of fasting, followed by eating an amount of food that is out of proportion to with what your metabolism can currently handle. And I think, as a number, I think that I've learnt that when someone with refeeding syndrome is being refed, the guideline is about 15 to 20 calories per kilogram of body weight per hour that you're aiming for, which I know isn't a lot. It is something, and it's something that your metabolism can handle at that time. But generally, people who are willing to eat out are more along the road of recovery, if you see what I mean, because eating out in itself can be quite an anxiety-provoking thing. But I guess all people are different, and maybe some people find comfort in eating out. The only thing that I can suggest is that if you haven't eaten in a few days and you decide then to go and eat out, it might not be the wisest move, especially if you don't know how many calories you're eating. And to avoid the refeeding syndrome, you should start at home little and often, rather than big and not so often, and then work towards eating out if you feel ready for it. So yeah, that's the two questions that I have answered. If you've got any other questions related to any of the videos, as I said, just comment in the comment section below or send me a message. And as for the video of Declan, I'll be getting on that as soon as possible. But for now, thanks for watching.